Welcome to another Kickstarter video hosted by Spellstorm Miniatures. Today we're going to be looking at Kickstarters ending in November and early December. So let's go ahead and dive in. Arkeis is a Kickstarter out of France. It is set in Egypt where it meets a little steampunk action. This is a cooperative story-driven campaign game that also has a dungeon crawling mode. Now you take on a role of one of the adventurers going to explore the tombs of Egypt. The core pledge is about $100 and contains the core game along with an expansion. Then you have the deluxe pledge, which is about $150. This also gets you a dice pouch, playmat, and some other dice sets. They also included a sandworm expansion that has a few other items and model as well. That was free to all the backers. So if exploring pyramids is your thing, go ahead and check this one out. It ends soon. From Sands to the Age of Darkness, we have a more classic cooperative dungeon crawler for 1 to 5 players. Now this one is hailing out of Bozeman, Montana. Chronicles of Drunagor, Age of Darkness is set as a dark fantasy game using 3D terrain and game trays system. The core game is $99, comes with 5 hero miniatures, at 32mm scale, about 27 monster miniatures, along with plenty of hero cards, tokens, adventure tokens, wooden cubes. Of course, this is before all the stretch goals, which add many more. There's also a $169 pledge that includes the 2 expansions, Undead Dragon and Hellscar. They're utilizing game trays in order to give an extra elevation to the terrain for that extra effect. Then we have the big guy for $599. You get all the stuff, the expansions, and you even get to be part of the story. So go ahead and check this out. Titans historical fantasy miniature board game is next. Become a king, lead your army to war, and use mythical Titan to crush your opponents. This one's out of Poland. They say Titans is a competitive game where you fight the other players for domination, so it makes the game a little bit more unique that the scenarios are based on real historical conflicts. The deluxe box includes the standard box along with the 3 expansions for about $117, includes the all-in is about another $49 for 2 more expansions, adding a Titan for a 5th player element and about another 27 minis. Each faction has the same type of units, but they're styled a little bit different, so you can kind of tell them on the battlefield, and plus their Titans are what really makes them very different. Ludus Magnus Studio out of Italy brings D.E.I, a competitive game based on conquest of resources set in a world devastated by a new ice age. This is the 7th Kickstarter created by the studio, and it is said to be language-free and color-blind friendly for 2 to 4 players. These factions are doing battle across a board with 3D map elements. The basic pledge will cost you about $88 to get the core box and the penny KSE miniature, then $132 for the same pledge plus the expansion. Now these miniatures do look pretty sweet. I've heard though that they might be a little bit smaller than their previous models, so that's something to consider as well. I do like the inclusion of these vehicles and mechs, even this one, Ripley, little on the nose there. So grab your coat and prepare to wage war in the new ice age. Finally, we come to HeresyLab on their 14th creation of Redeemer's Fantasy and Sci-Fi Resin Miniatures and STLs. So this is giving you some post-apocalyptic miniatures in a 28mm scale for tabletop games and 3D printing. There are 11 different scales of pledge levels in order to get certain minis and the quantity of those minis. Now when we kind of look at them, they do have a little bit different style to them, from your axes, your disciples wielding rifles and incense burners, it seems, to holding a scroll and a battle axe, because why not? Then over to your Titans, which are more of your robots, chain guns here, rifles, all sorts of stuff in a few varying poses. You can even mix the factions. Then in the add-ons during the Pledge Manager, they will also have all of their models from the store available for a discounted price. Thanks for checking out these Kickstarters that are ending soon. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. Give some comments down below on the Kickstarters that you're looking forward to.